Welcome, students. So, today we are going to discuss regarding user insights regarding the fourth unit, which last classes we have studied about search engine optimization and key phrases and link property. So, what are user insight? You all also give user insight whenever you purchase some products online. You give its feedback. You write it on some blog or you write it on a social media. Correct? And sometimes you give suggestion to the app developer also, or product promoter also, seller also. These things has to be improved. Okay, so what exactly user insight is? It's an easiest way to understand what your customer think about your website. Okay, whether it is user friendly, whether it is taking very much time to load, or whether the navigations are properly available, or all the details are at one place. So get ideas for improvements, addresses friction points, and improve conversion, and so much more. Launch a project. So here you will get all the insight regarding what they feel, what they think about it, and you can get it from the customers. So consumer insight is an interpretation used by business to gain a deeper understanding of how their audience think and feels. So it's all about how the perception about the customer, about the company which is handling the businesses, okay, or services, and asking them what exactly the perception about the website or products which are sold online, and how is the service delivery, how much time is taken, all everything will be known. Okay, analyzing human behavior allow companies to really understand what their customer want and they need, and most importantly why they feel this way. So this is a part of a search, we can say consumer research, we can say. So because of the insight, the company can understand about the customer, the behavioral part. When consumer insight research is conducted properly, it should be improve the effectiveness of how a company communicates to its customers also, the way they are doing, okay, and how they are asking, how valuable information they are taking from the customer, which is likely to change consumer behavior and therefore increase the sales. So if any company is asking you to give the suggestion for the improvement, so obviously you feel better and you give the suggestions. Example, if you go to some restaurant and there is some problem with the dish which you have had, rather than shouting, you go to the manager and you will say, this is not the way what I will put and this much is increase. So that is an insight and they will be asking you, so how you feel about our restaurant. So you can give the proper insight so they can improve about the hotel staff. Okay, the same thing happens in the online also. It's all about digital way the information is exchanged. Collecting good consumer insight can be challenging. Yes, that is the biggest challenge we always face. So here is what you need to order, collect, and use consumer insight properly. How can be done that challenge? So good data quality, first of all. So data quality is vital, whatever you are collecting from the consumer. So without high quality data, the conclusion and result might suffer, because what way they were when they were giving the insight, that is important. The quality should be maintained. Next is a dedicated analytics team, which is there to analyze the data insights. Okay, there are teams which works for this. The role of your data analytics team is essential in order to understand how your customers think and behave. If you don't have the right analytic teams with you, it's hard to understand what the data is telling you. Okay, so that is an important part, because analytics is most important part. You have already studied this, we have discussed regarding this, and even how Google Analytics helps us, or Facebook Analytics helps us to understand the customer. Consumer research, yes. So to understand and acknowledge consumer behavior and consumer insight should help you engage with customers emotionally. You can handle them. So in order to do that, it's essential not to ignore the results of your consumer research, whether you agree with them or not. Okay. So this is the basic, you can say, important part of understanding the how they feel exactly. Okay. So you have to understand the things. Next is database and segment marketing. Here, database marketing we have seen in the first unit, I think. Yeah, first unit is a form of a marketing using database of customers to generate personalized communication. Here we know the consumer profiling of consumer that we have already studied. So the database can lead to persons, a different set of audience or segments. As consumer insights remain theoretical, database marketing is another essential element to your research when it comes to testing and learning. Okay. Indeed, test actions are necessary if you want to turn insight into facts. Okay. Always look into it. Okay. Always check with the database. Okay. When you are doing a research, always you do the testing and what testing you have done and what learnings you have studied and how it can be used for segmenting the market. This is the what you call the process. Okay, journey of 5 different stages. We say awareness, consideration, purchase, retention, advocacy. And if you see, mapping your customer journey will help you understand your customer's experience and should highlight any gaps you may have. Okay, first of all, awareness stage, you all know the public relation, the radio, TV, print, word of mouth, online ads, email, PPC you do. When it comes to consideration, you go with the social ads, reviews, blogs, media, direct mail, and email. Okay, once it ends, when it comes to the purchasing stage, so e-commerce, the store where it is available and the website where it is available. Then once they have purchased it, then retention, how you can do is they have the community forum there and FAQ knowledge base also. With the advocacy, what they do, they promote your product. Okay, because advocacy, if you're happy with any product, obviously you'll tell it to so many people. Okay, you do the advocacy about it. So here you do promotions on the blog, social network, and newsletter. So these you can do with the consumer, where the different level the consumer insight happens, and this is the journey of any customer. So consumer insight can also help companies map their customer journey and identify any gaps where there might be some, as well as find what works best. Okay, and what can be improved for better user experience and customer journey from awareness to purchase and advocacy. So always this happens with any company. Always every company comes up with the insight. They always check 100% products. When come, they do the testing first. They go for pre-testing and all. Then they come up with the solution for it. Okay. If you look at the Forbes, which covered a great example, how a consumer insight was used. Okay, Wayfair, a multi-billion-dollar online home goods retailer, conducted consumer research and analyzed their data and realized they needed to improve their overall customer experience, not individual customer experience. So they built an app that lets user take pictures of items they seek and like giving it the information needed so Wayfair can offer recommendation. So what exactly they're looking for that can be gone. So this is the method they have used using the consumer insight. Not only did this research allow the business to improve customer experience, okay, but the app now also provides the company with new insight into customer styles and needs. Okay, as a result, Wayfair saw 50% increase in customer retention than year the app came out. So this is the whole and sole reason behind understanding the customer insight. So the retention is very easy, can be done. Now, getting started with consumer insight, how can you go through? Establish what you want to learn. First of all, before conducting research, make sure you know what you will get your data. That is the basic question. Okay. Identify your resources. So, how will you obtain data? Who is going to collect it? And who is going to analyze it? Okay. And make sure you have enough time and employees dedicated to getting using your consumer insight. That is a separate segment that has to be maintained. What's your collection method? How you're going to get the data? Okay, how you will collect the data, extremely important. Are you targeting a specific audience or existing consumers you are having? Will you use a survey? Focus group, these are important questions. Trust pilots review insight tool is a great way to get started. So you have already studied these all aspects in your consumer behavior. How will you use the data? That is again important one, because one data can be used for different purposes. We have seen this. Make sure your effort are not going to waste. It's important to plan and think ahead. Once you have the data, start thinking about what departments, process, strategies, and initiatives might be affected and what the plan is for that. So that has to be most important taken care, because the data will be huge and how you are going to use it depends on the company. So this is regarding today's session. If you have any doubt, you can ask.